Hello students, in today's lecture we will discuss some important chemical properties of amines or amines. First of all, we will start with reaction with acids. जैसा कि हम जानते हैं amines are basic in nature because of presence of lone pair of electrons. Therefore, they can react with acids to form salts. Now, all the three types of amines, that is primary, secondary, and tertiary amines, they react with acids and form salts. For example, a primary amine having general formula RNH2 reacts with an acid, hydrochloric acid, and forms a salt RNH3 positive Cl negative. ये salt कैसे बनता है? When nitrogen donates its electron pair to H positive ion of hydrochloric acid. In this way, the salt which is formed is alkyl ammonium chloride. If we take the example of ethylamine, ethylamine reacts with hydrochloric acid and forms ethyl ammonium chloride. This was an example of a primary amine. Similarly, a secondary amine can react. For example, R2NH, which is a general representation of a secondary amine, reacts in a similar way with hydrochloric acid and forms a salt dialkyl ammonium chloride. इसमें भी एक एग्जांपल हम कर लेते हैं. ये एक सेकेंडरी अमाइन है जिसका नाम है डाइमिथाइल अमाइन. हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड के साथ रिएक्ट करने पर we get dimethyl ammonium chloride. Aromatic amines also react in a similar manner. For example, aniline. Aniline, when treated with hydrochloric acid, forms a salt Anilinium chloride. The next chemical reaction is reaction with transition metal ions. Amines react with transition metal ions like silver ion, copper 2 positive ion to form complex compounds. अब ये कंपाउंड्स कैसे बनते हैं? इन कंपाउंड्स में अमाइंस लिविस बेस के तौर पे एक्ट करते हैं एंड द मेटल आयंस एक्ट एज Lewis acids, and a coordinate bond is formed between them. For example, when silver ions in the form of some salt are treated with an amine, let us suppose मिथाइल अमाइन, तो मिथाइल अमाइन के दो मॉलिक्यूल्स सिल्वर के एक आयन के साथ कंबाइन होते हैं इस तरह से एंड ए कम्प्लेक्स आयन इज फॉर्म्ड if silver is in the form of silver chloride. In that case, the compound formed is like this: silver coordinated with two molecules of methyl amine and a Cl. This is a coordination complex which is soluble in water. A soluble complex is formed. In a similar way, if copper sulfate is treated with an amine like methylamine, it reacts with 4 molecules of methylamine and forms a complex which is again a soluble complex having a deep blue color. Next reaction है reaction with alkyl halides. And this reaction is called alkylation. When amines primary or secondary or tertiary, which may be both aliphatic and aromatic, when they are treated with alkyl halides, they form secondary, tertiary amines and quaternary ammonium salts respectively. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब है कि अगर प्राइमरी अमाइन की रिएक्शन की जाए अल्काइल हलाइड के साथ, it will form a secondary amine. Secondary amine reacts further and forms a tertiary amine. And if tertiary amine reacts with alkyl halide, finally we get a quaternary ammonium salt. Therefore, इस रिएक्शन का जो एंड प्रोडक्ट है दैट इज ऑलवेज क्वाटरनरी अमोनियम साल्ट, वेदर वी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम प्राइमरी अमाइन और सेकेंडरी अमाइन और टर्शरी अमाइन. लेकिन कंडीशन ये है दैट एल्काइल हलाइड दैट इज RX it should be in excess. For example, if we have a primary amine that is RNH2, this is a general formula for primary amines. When treated with an alkyl halide that is RX, we get a secondary amine that is R2NH, and a side product is formed that is HX. That is HX, it is a halogen acid. Now a secondary amine is formed. This secondary amine reacts further with RX that is alkyl halide and gives a tertiary amine. Again a molecule of acid is formed. Now this tertiary amine can react further with one more molecule of alkyl halide, and finally we get a quaternary salt whose formula can be written as R4N positive X negative, and this is a quaternary ammonium salt. इसमें अगर हम एक एग्जांपल करें, जैसे मिथाइल अमाइन, एक प्राइमरी अमाइन है. When it is treated with an alkyl halide, for example methyl iodide, we get a secondary amine that is dimethyl amine, and a side product in this case is a hydroiodic acid. Now this secondary amine reacts further with another molecule of methyl iodide, and we get a tertiary amine which is trimethyl amine along with a side product of hydroiodic acid. Now this tertiary amine reacts again with a methyl iodide, and finally we get a quaternary salt, and this quaternary salt is tetramethyl ammonium iodide. This process, in which an amine forms a quaternary ammonium salt with alkyl halide, is called exhaustive alkylation. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जो अभी हमने एग्जाम्पल की, इसको हम एग्जॉस्टिव मिथाइलेशन कह सकते हैं. When methyl iodide was used, the process can be called as exhaustive methylation. This reaction can also take place in aromatic amines. For example, if we have aniline, aniline is a primary amine. When treated with methyl iodide, we get a secondary amine, and the secondary amine is N-methyl aniline. N-methyl aniline is a secondary amine, and it reacts with another molecule of methyl iodide and forms a tertiary amine, which is N-dimethyl aniline. Now this tertiary amine, that is N-dimethyl aniline, can react further with methyl iodide, and finally we get a quaternary salt and this quaternary salt is trimethyl anilinium iodide. ओके, अब इस रिएक्शन में एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. हमने देखा कि जब एक प्राइमरी अमाइन रिएक्ट करता है अल्काइल हलाइड के साथ, तो एक एसिड मॉलिक्यूल लिबरेट होता है. जैसे यहाँ पर आपने देखा हाइड्रो आयोडिक एसिड, विच इज ए स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड. सिमिलरली जब सेकेंडरी अमाइन की रिएक्शन हुई तो टर्शरी अमाइन, अगेन एन एसिड मॉलिक्यूल इज फॉर्म्ड. अब ये जो एसिड बनता है, जिसको हम जनरल में HX लिख सकते हैं, विच में भी हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड और हाइड्रोब्रोमिक एसिड और हाइड्रोआयोडिक एसिड, ये इंटरफेयर कर सकता है इस रिएक्शन में. दिस एसिड कैन रिएक्ट विद amine and can interfere in this reaction. मतलब अगर इस एसिड मॉलिक्यूल की अमाइन के साथ रिएक्शन हो जाए, अमाइन के साथ ये कंबाइन हो जाए, तो ये जो अल्काइलेशन रिएक्शन है इसमें इंटरफ्रेंस होगा, ये आगे प्रोसीड नहीं करेगी. इस चीज़ के लिए हम एक बेस इस रिएक्शन में ऐड करते हैं. बेस लाइक ए कार्बोनेट, जैसे सोडियम कार्बोनेट है, पोटेशियम कार्बोनेट है. बेसिस लाइक कार्बोनेट्स आर एडेड which neutralize the acid which is formed, that is HX। और इस तरह से चूंकि ये एसिड न्यूट्रलाइज हो जाता है, देयरफॉर इट इज नॉट कैपेबल ऑफ इंटरफेयरिंग in this reaction।